Guys, what's the crack? Things are absolutely insane out there in Bitcoin and crypto land, and we haven't even had the halving yet. Now, if you haven't been in Bitcoin for the last few years and this is your first time going through Bitcoin halving and you thought Bitcoin was dead because you believed all the nonsense narrative, I can assure you that whatever madness that we've had, it's nothing for what's coming. Absolutely nothing for what's coming. While people are hopping on the live, I'll just give my introduction. Hi, my name is Dinny, and I'm actually just going to turn the car here because I've places to be and people to see. But hi, my name is Dinny from Bitcoin With Dinny, and for the last over 4 years now, we've helped people to retire early by teaching them to understand Bitcoin, to use Bitcoin, and to custody it correctly. And if that sounds good and that sounds like something you want to learn, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, throw a comment in, become part of the community, because everything that the mainstream has ever taught you about Bitcoin is wrong, and that's why you haven't been part of the highest performing asset class in 15 years. There's no other place you could have put your money for the last 15 years that you would have done better than if you used Bitcoin. Okay? And not only that, but this is also the fastest growing technology. There's no other technology. Yeah, Google has taken over the world, but Bitcoin has grown way faster. Yeah, Amazon is a giant that owns everything, but Bitcoin has grown way faster than Amazon. So it's not only is it the highest performing, okay, place you could put your money, it's also the fastest growing technology on the planet, and everyone thinks Bitcoin bad. And the mainstream narrative is always Bitcoin bad. And that's for good reason. Because Bitcoin gives you freedom, Bitcoin gives you sovereignty, and Bitcoin allows you to exit the system, which just leeches your time off you. And once you understand Bitcoin, you understand that whole world. The problem is, they don't want you to understand the whole world because it takes power away. So if you'd like to have more time to do fun things with people you enjoy being with, study Bitcoin. Now, where are we in the cycle? Bitcoin has, and by the way, we call it the daily exercise. It helps the algorithm if you press the like button. So that's all I ask from you, is you don't just watch the video like a mouth breather. You take a little bit of action and just give the like button a little press. It's your daily exercise. It'll keep your index fingers in good health. Stop you getting arthritis in them. But so if you do me a favor, hit the like button, hit the subscribe, hit the follow. It helps the algorithm. It helps me get this out there for more people. Where are we in the cycle? We're 40 days off Bitcoin's halving. This is when the supply of Bitcoin is cut by 50%. And if you cut the supply of anything, everything in the world is just valued on its scarcity. Everything. Okay? I have this simple principle that I live my life by. It's called Dinny science. It's called just first principles. It just means that you break everything down to its simplest form. And you just ask yourself, okay, what's the most important thing that I can do in this situation, in any situation? What's the most important thing that I can focus on? Where's the biggest return on my time? And once you define it, you action it, you do it, and life becomes easier. You take the big steps. Most people take baby steps and they worry about all the small things and the nuance. Okay? Success means you disregard all that and you only focus on important things. Okay? And that's what we want you to do. So, the supply of everything and the demand for everything, along with the scarcity, dictates the value of everything. Now, Bitcoin, as we know, if you follow this channel, is the scarcest thing on the planet. Scarcer than gold. The only thing that you can relate having similar scarcity is your time. Your time on the planet is finite. It's as scarce as Bitcoin. Bitcoin is finite. It's as scarce as your time on the planet. Nothing else shares those properties. Nothing else shares those properties, people. Okay? Most people don't get that. Altcoins don't share these properties. This is why Bitcoin's a big deal. This is why I focus on Bitcoin. This is why I talk about Bitcoin all the time. I done an analogy earlier. You've broken your leg. It's a compound fracture. There's a bone sticking out. You're bleeding out. You're dying. You're on the ground. And someone comes up to you and you ask them for nail clippers because your toenails are long. This is what most of the world does. They focus on stupid problems that aren't problems. The fact that your nails are wrong doesn't matter when you're lying on the ground with a compound fracture, a broken femur, and blood is pissing out of you. All that matters is you fix that problem. Okay? That is the most important thing. But this is the modern world. We're so distracted. We run around like headless chickens. We can't think critically. So we focus on problems that really aren't problems. And the biggest problem, like fixing the money or understanding money, we don't focus on that. And that's by design, okay? You've been educated to be that way. So you've got to uneducate yourself, unlearn all the nonsense. If you want to be free and live life on your own terms and get really wealthy, you got to do that. And if you don't, and you like being in the machine and giving your time away, well, don't do it. Disregard everything I say. Call me a raving lunatic. That's fine. I'm having the crack today. And if you're having the crack and you're happy, have at it. But if you're not happy, you got to understand this stuff to change. So, Bitcoin's halving is coming up in 40 days. That's when the supply of Bitcoin is cut by 50%. That's when the market is just the world has to now reprice Bitcoin. Because it's twice as scarce, it's more valuable. So therefore, no guarantees on this. And nothing I say is financial advice, guys, okay? I'm not your financial advisor. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just someone who's studied Bitcoin and been an entrepreneur since I've been 8 years of age. So I know how to make money. I know how to keep money. Okay, and I also know how to create value for people, because that's how all my companies have been so successful, is that we solve problems for people. And we're really good at it. And that's how we make loads of money. So it's win-win. So the market has to reprice Bitcoin, and we're 40 days away from that. So everything that you've seen this year in 2024, price action, and you think I'm too late to Bitcoin, I missed Bitcoin. It's like, you haven't missed anything. We haven't even had the market. Now, maybe the market is becoming a bit more sophisticated and it's starting to price in the halving. But the only way a market can price in anything is if everybody has the information. And I'll argue, with Bitcoin, the market isn't efficient in this situation because nobody has the information. Wherever you are, okay, pause my video, and if there's anyone around you, ask them to explain Bitcoin's halving. And the chances are they won't be able to. So efficient market hypothesis doesn't hold up in this situation because the energy hasn't, or the information hasn't saturated globally. Majority of people don't understand Bitcoin. They don't understand what the halving is. They don't even understand digital scarcity. So therefore, the market can't be efficient. So therefore, I believe the market's wrong and Bitcoin's worth more. And that's why I say to people, price of Bitcoin's going up, baby. Going up for the next 15 years. It's going to annihilate absolutely every other asset on the planet, and you should study Bitcoin. That's why, personally, I've built a company that teaches people and educates them and fast tracks their journey in this. Bitcoin With Dinny. If you want us to help you retire early, go to bitcoinwithdinny.com. In fact, we have an event happening Wednesday next week. It's a free event. Retire early on Bitcoin. I'll stick the link in when I finish the video. You'll find it in the comments. I'll put it in the description as well. And join that, and we do what we say we do. We teach how to retire early by understanding Bitcoin. But regardless of all that, studying Bitcoin is the most important thing you can do with your time now, because everything else is leeching your time and stealing your time. And the fiat money system, and you probably don't even know what I mean, but when I say fiat, most people don't. I never did until I understand Bitcoin. But the fiat money system, its job is to steal your time. And that's why your €50 note buys you less stuff today than it did 5 years ago, than it did 10 years ago, than it did 15 years ago. But guess what? In 5 years' time, it's going to buy you even less stuff. And that's why studying Bitcoin and understanding how to invest is the most important thing in your life right now. Unless you hate having your own time to do what you want, when you want, if you want. If you love being a slave, well then don't study Bitcoin. Because you're guaranteed you're going to be more of a slave in 5 years' time, because your money's going to buy you much less stuff in 5 years' time, and in 10 years' time, and in 20 years' time. Okay, and we've been teaching on this channel since I started 4 years ago how you'll own nothing and be happy. How it's happening. You can see it in real time now. You just can't afford anything. Your kids won't be able to afford stuff. So, have you missed Bitcoin? No. 5 years ago, people said to me they'd missed Bitcoin. Okay, and in 5 years' time, people will still tell me they've missed Bitcoin. What percentage of the world are using Bitcoin? Focus on the adoption, not the price. The majority of the world doesn't own Bitcoin, doesn't understand Bitcoin, doesn't use Bitcoin. Bitcoin is like the internet. It either is or it isn't. Everyone will use it. Everyone will participate in it. You won't have a choice. Just like today in the modern world, you don't have a choice to participate in the modern world without the internet. Okay? Bitcoin's kind of the same. You will not have a choice to participate in the modern world without using Bitcoin. Life will be really, really difficult. Silence. So you might as well learn now. So Bitcoin hasn't even halved in its supply. Once the halving happens, okay, what happens then is, today there's 900 Bitcoins created every 10 minutes. Once the halving happens, that cuts to 450. These ETFs are gobbling up. They're buying 10 times more Bitcoin per day than are produced each day. What happens when the supply halves? Now they're buying 20 times more. This is supply and demand economics. Now, I never went to college to study economics, thankfully, because I'd been brainwashed into the fiat standard, as most people who understand economics, or they think they understand economics. They've been brainwashed, okay, so they don't really understand it. I've self-educated myself, okay, and Austrian economics is really how economics work, which is the reality, what reality is based on. Unfortunately, with fiat, fiat isn't actual reality, because fiat money, the real money system we use, is a money system where there's different rules for different people, and it has no reflection to reality, because you have this magic thing called the money printer. But a money printer doesn't really work in reality, because you can't print money. Money isn't notes. Money isn't coins. Okay? Money is stored capital. You can't manufacture, therefore, which is energy. First rule, or one of the most basic rules of physics, is energy can't be created nor destroyed. Okay? So you can't print money and think you're printing energy. It's just a fallacy. All it is a theft mechanism that most people don't understand. Bitcoiners understand it. Okay? And that's why Bitcoin was invented, to protect you from this theft mechanism. So, we have a massive supply-demand crunch coming. Price is going to have to squeeze up to the upside. There'll be massive volatility, shake people out, retail people. Like you, if you're new and just want to get rich quick, and you're not prepared to do the work, well, you know, you just want to buy Bitcoin when the price is going up. When the price crashes, you probably won't want to buy it then. We use a simple strategy, a simple accumulation strategy that works no matter what the Bitcoin market. But it takes education to figure that out. So, whatever's happened in Bitcoin up to now, we're 40 days off the halving, folks. You ain't seen nothing yet. Let's talk in 6 months' time. Let's talk in a year. Let's talk in 5 years. Let's talk in a decade. And then you'll realise that you truly hadn't missed Bitcoin. So start studying today. Start learning today. Share this video with your friends and family, because Bitcoin is freedom, and freedom is for everybody. Okay, so it's important we get them to start learning about Bitcoin, start understanding Bitcoin, because the big entities, what are they doing? They're buying 20 times the amount of Bitcoin that's being produced in a day. There will be none left for your friends, family. Okay, 0 Bitcoin will be left for them if they dilly-dally and try and accumulate Bitcoin in 10 years' time. It's just too late for them. They'll get 0.00000000001 Satoshis for all their whole net worth. Whereas today they can get a hell of a lot more than that. And that's why you're rewarded. We call it proof of work. If you're prepared to do the work on Bitcoin, it changes your life. It gives you back your time. So you can spend it doing what you want. I'm not working today. Well, I'm going to do a little bit of work. Didn't work yesterday, you know, and that's by choice. I'm running 5 businesses, and that's by choice. Sometimes I think, why don't I just feck off and go surfing? But then when I go surfing, I go, oh, there's so much opportunity. I've got to build these companies. I've got to have the crack. But again, it's by choice. I'm not stuck in the rat race to like the majority of people who have a big noose around their neck called a mortgage, and therefore they can't live their life on their own terms, and the machine just has them and milks them till the day they die. It doesn't have to be like that, folks. There's a beautiful world, and no one's forced into Bitcoin. You can opt into it voluntarily. But what I say to people is to study it and understand it. Okay? Yes, the price sucks everyone in, and the price is going crazy, and it likely continues to go crazy, you know, for the next year at least, possibly for the next 8 years. I have a thesis on that. We won't go into it now. So the price is what is the shiny object and get you into it. But really, if you want to understand Bitcoin, realise the freedom takes a bit of work. You've got to read a few books. Maybe you've got to hire someone like me to teach you, or just spend the time. Your time is your most valuable thing. If it was me, I prefer to pay to get my time back. But, you know, some people don't have money, so you have to use your own time is free. Your own labour is free. I had to do that back when I was a poor person and lived in a caravan. I couldn't afford mentors and coaches to fast track my way and take the shortcut, so I had to expend my own time. So it doesn't matter how you get there once you start your journey and you get there. So don't worry about the price of Bitcoin. You haven't missed any action. Bitcoin is worth $1 million in today's terms. It's worth way more than that. And it's just a case of the world figuring it out. And I believe it's slowly and then suddenly. And I think the slowly stage is starting to come to an end. And now we're entering the suddenly stage. And whatever you think, like Bitcoin done 20 odd grand monthly close candle, you think that's a lot? Wait till it does 100 grand a monthly close candle. Okay? Because these days are coming. Have a super day. Dinny out.